Brilliance Audio presents The Aftermath by Gail Schimmel, performed by Bianca Amato, Sarah Zimmerman, Ingeborg Rietmeyer, and Ariane Kassam.
Helen. We had to stop a few times, and soon it was dark. Dark like it can only be on a narrow highway in the middle of nowhere with no streetlights. There was almost no traffic, but cows or even buck could step into the road at any point, and we both knew stories about accidents like this. A cow hit at the right speed is surprisingly lethal. "Drive carefully," I said. "There's no rush." "I am driving carefully," Mike snapped. "It's hard." We saw the truck approaching from a long way away. It was barely of any interest, except that we hadn't seen much traffic on that road for a while. Suddenly, out of the blue, as the truck drew level with us, the driver swerved. Nobody ever knew why. The truck swerved onto our side of the road, everything became loud and black and hard, and I didn't know what was happening. It was all lights and noise, and the screaming of brakes. The truck hit the driver's side, almost ploughing through us. And then I looked over at Mike, and he was very still, and there was blood trickling out of his nose.
Julia. My mother isn't curious about my news. She's not like other mothers. When I phone and tell her I have big news, she doesn't nag me or beg me to tell her, or insist I come around immediately. I wasn't exactly expecting her to, but I always have a small hope that one day she will act a little bit more like a mother should. My therapist thinks I subconsciously remember a time when she was different, and that this is the source of my hope. Everybody, including Alice, my therapist, insists that my mother is like she is because of the accident. Everybody says it like that, like it has capital letters, even my mother. My life has been defined by something that happened to my parents when I was 2, something I wasn't even involved in. Maybe my mother was different before. When I was a child, I came up with the theory that she was a zombie, that she'd actually died in that stupid accident, but for some reason kept walking around like an alive person. My mum's actually a zombie, I told some of the girls at school. They didn't believe me, so I invited them around to play. After that, they still didn't believe me, but they also didn't not believe me. That's how much like a zombie my mother was, and still is.
Claire. Mackenzie hugs and kisses me effusively, as if nothing has gone wrong with our morning. Mrs. Wood walks me to the door, apparently keeping the whole class silent, with one glare. Late arrivals are very disruptive for all the girls, she says to me at the door, and because I can't bear being in trouble, I spend the next 3 minutes charming her while the class silently waits, and by the time I leave, I've volunteered to help with the cake sale next week. Mackenzie winks at me as I go, so I wink back and feel good for a moment. In the car, I pull my moleskin diary out of my bag. I know, I should be all digital by now, but I love beautiful stationery. My diary is where it belongs, but when I flip to the date of the cake sale, I see I've already committed to a meeting at the hotel I do PR and events for, to talk about their autumn functions. I send a quick email to the hotel from my phone, asking if we can move the meeting an hour later, and then check my diary for what's next today. I realize I'm now running 17 minutes late for a meeting with another client, a wedding venue in Mouldersdrift that has 25 weddings scheduled for the next 3 months, all of which they're convinced they can't do without me. I message the woman I'm meeting, claiming a small touch of food poisoning and promising I'll be there as soon as I can manage.
Daniel. I get home late because Julia said she would be late, and she's furious because she's cooked a special meal for me and now it's cold. While she's slamming plates around in the small kitchen, I try to reassure her that the microwave also works, But she doesn't like that and starts saying things like, "I don't know why I bothered." Then I stumble over the box of my books that Julia still hasn't unpacked and go into our bedroom, and I see she's flung my clean suits across the bed so they'll be all creased and unwearable. It's hard to believe Julia loves me as much as she says she does. But then I go back to the kitchen and see that she's crying. I put my arms around her and feel her sink against my body. "It's okay about the suits," I whisper. "You can just take them back tomorrow." She pulls away from me and looks confused. And then all hell breaks loose. When we fought yesterday, I promised I wouldn't walk out again. So this time I stay. But that doesn't mean I'm prepared to take this hysteria. "You're very irrational," I eventually say in a calm voice. "If this is what you're like now, I'd hate to see you pregnant." And Julia is completely silent, and then our eyes meet. And suddenly I know.